Hello everybody and welcome to our second call-in episode. It's the only show where you call in and tell us about your issues. So we're waiting for some callers. And while we do that, we've got the chat up. We've got a new layout this time so you can see the chat as we're going. We've got our shit showing up on the Discord. This is a well-oiled machine, other than my XSplit license having finished being whatever.
Alrighty, we get some messages over here. What have we got going?
Aiden Paladin is in the Discord.
Ah.
And
you gonna come in, or?
I don't know. Not sure. The other day I was thinking about it, and it occurred to me that I used to wear the I used to wear the Uncle Buck uniform before you wore the Uncle Buck uniform.
That's perfectly okay.
Yeah. Back like right after I graduated high school, before I started doing the theater stuff, I worked at this barbecue restaurant, and I worked the evening shift, so I would get ready in the afternoons, and my car didn't have AC, so during the summer I would throw on either a gray or a black tank top, and then I had a hat like this, but it was made out of linen instead of faux leather, and so I'd wear that while I worked because it was cooler. And then I had these sunglasses that were very small. They had earpieces, but they come like almost right up next to my eyes. That I thought were really cool looking. It's pretty much the Uncle Buck uniform, but it's like a proto Uncle Buck. It's like a butt cucks. It's the two of us mashed together.
Well, I was talking about this on, I think on the Facebook page the other day. The Uncle Buck uniform kind of came to be by accident. So, the tank top thing evolved naturally for me. I used to wear t-shirts all the time. And then I just got to where I didn't like the way they felt around my neck. I have a huge neck.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way they felt. I always felt like I was being strangled. So I changed to button-up shirts all the time. Button-up shirts, short sleeve, long sleeve, whatever. And eventually, I would, like in cold weather, I would put on a tank top under that. And then as warm weather came around, I kept doing that, but then I would just strip out of the overshirt. And then it got to where I just wore tank tops everywhere.
Yeah.
And as we were starting up the show, I think it was Stefano who pointed out that I always wear a gray tank top, whatever I'm doing. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. Then, of course, the hat and shades thing was started by Joel Chaco. So, I got on board with that. I have to give him credit.
Yeah.
Hey, someone is wanting to come in and get some audio advice. The Frank Fryer.
The link for the Discord's in the YouTube description, so feel free to follow that. I'm sure they're going to tell us that something's too loud or something's too quiet, which I can't tell because I can't hear the stream at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was hoping someone would jump in the chat and tell me if you were too quiet or if I was too loud or whatever. Because I've got
not able to type.
I've got the levels ready to balance.
Frank Fryer says, no, I need help.
Yep.
You all have experience like the podcast. Well, we do. So now that instead of having a call-in, we're having a type-in. That's weird.
Apparently, yeah. Well, at least people can read it and see that, you know, we're not just psychopaths talking to ourselves.
Yeah. What kind of, what's your specific question, Frank Fryer? Well, we're waiting on him to ask the question. So the, Aiden Paladin says, how's it going? Tell her to jump in and talk to us for a minute. The guy from the other Here's What I Don't Get podcast, I shot him an email inviting him onto the show. Yeah. It was after I shot him the email saying, hey, you're stepping on our toes. And after we did the episode where I said that his podcast sounded like hot garbage. So you and I both have access to the email. I think Chaco might still have access to the email. He wrote us back on the 2nd, and I just never saw it. Like, someone saw it. It went into red status. I just never saw it till today when I went to clean out some emails. And he was like, "Hey, yeah, I thought your first email was spam. The second time I was like, oh, I came and checked out your podcast, like what I heard, until you said that my podcast was garbage and you threatened legal action. So way to be diplomatic." Yeah, sorry. Because my views don't really coincide with your views, and I think unless you want to send me a cease and desist, how about you just exist in your corner of the internet and I'll exist in mine, like a couple of guys just trying to do their hobbies. I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, but you do make a salient point. I am a jerk. So, all right, the Frank Fryer says, don't know the number. I have rough fears. What is some good audio settings?
Yeah, that depends on what your setup is. Because, I mean, good audio settings for, you know, a state-of-the-art recording studio and good audio settings for using a couple of USB mics and doing a podcast over Discord are totally different. Hey, Aiden Paladin's here.
Hey! Bring her on in the waiting room.
Aiden Paladin, you there?
Yeah, I am. Hey, what's up?
Hey!
Hey!
I can hear you. Sounds great.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, guys? One sec.
We're doing good.
Do you hear an echo, or is that just me because I'm wearing 2 pairs of headphones?
No, it's so good. I was turning off my AC so you wouldn't hear the terrible grating background noise. So you may hear the trucks because I can't control that.
Well, I hear trucks all day, every day.
Yeah.
I hear them in my sleep.
I hear trains.
Yeah, my AC's off too.
I hear trains, and my AC's on, but it's in the other room. And I just got a brand new AC unit yesterday, and it's like silent. It's incredible.
Oh, it's. I just live next to a fucking highway, so
hold on one second.
You'll hear terrible traffic.
The Frank Fryer, I see you said okay, thank you. If you'll hit me up on the Facebook page, I will talk with you more in depth later. Or if you can try and call in here in a little bit, if you can get your audio figured out, there's a Discord link. We'll get you in a little bit if you want to. Sorry about that. Taking care of little business over here. So anyway, so is there anything that you don't get tonight, Aiden Paladin?
Oh man, I mean, I've already been on 2 streams on it, but I don't get this whole freaking thing with Trump and Charlottesville. Like he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry, let me interrupt you because I'm a male feminist. I know you're trying to make a point, and I stand up for women's rights and everything, but let me just talk over you while you're trying to say something.
To me. Oh, do it. Mansplain to me.
Yeah.
Oh, we can talk about that. That's fine. Grumblebee, he's fine. He doesn't sometimes get when he's a little bit not living up to those male feminist standards. Which is fine. I'd rather you talk over me and think that you're trying to be smarter than me, which is good luck, than pussyfoot around.
Well, I mean, you did get steamrolled by a guy who I think sometimes his mouth runs, but what's upstairs isn't completely engaged. It's just pre-recorded talk. It's like talking to an answering machine, like when you call someone. Remember the prank people used to do when you call their voicemail or answering machine, and they would go hello, and then wait a couple seconds, and you'd start talking, and they go, ha, 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 I got you. It's my voicemail.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's kind of what. I think that's kind of what this is. That was yesterday. It was just these pre-rehearsed talking points. Something about giant tits, and then boom. Nothing. I don't think there was anything you could have said that would have penetrated that hull.
No, and you know what? And then he talked to me further on Twitter. Talked at me further on Twitter. In which case, no, like.
No, you're right.
It doesn't really, like, I'm not easily irritated. It was you could have given me the worst arguments on the planet. I'll entertain your argument. It's once you start saying like, oh, so you're saying you want abortion or you don't want abortion. It's like, whoa, hang on. We have now entered an entirely different argument than the one about the tits on trans people in the military argument. And it's like, if you cannot keep on track with your argument, you have to enter an entirely different weird straw man fallacy zone. I don't know what kind of conversation we can have about it.
Yeah.
The fallacy zone.
Well, it kind of did that to me when I was on the Dick Show too. It became very quickly, oh, okay, so you're saying you want trans people to kill themselves. No, I don't. It's the same. And I get this is the same thing. And hey guys, by the way, I'm Eden Paladin. I don't know if there was any introduction there, but like the thing that's fucking irritating to me about lefties oftentimes is that they'll do this thing where they will totally misrepresent your argument by being like, oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying, because you don't want universal health care, that you want old people to die in an alleyway.
Yeah.
What? Whoa, I didn't say that at all. I didn't make that argument.
Yeah, that really drove me nuts, because there was the post on Twitter and Facebook and Reddit and everywhere else that was like, well, if we're worried about trans people killing themselves, then men shouldn't be in the military either, because they have a 4 times more likely rate of killing themselves than women. It's like, yeah, what you're doing there is a fallacy where you take the most absurd conclusion of somebody's argument and use that to mock them, instead of actually arguing the argument being made. Dillhole. Yeah, I don't understand all of this Charlotte business. Like I'm still confused as to what actually happened in total, and I feel like the media is never going to be satisfied. Like Trump, you know, because New York Times runs a thing like, Trump finally condemns all these people, but it took him 2 days.
Oh, 2 days. So it might as well be the Holocaust.
It's not like he's the fucking president and has shit to do. And I fucking hate Donald Trump, but like, come on, guys.
Good for you. I love Donald Trump, but that's the thing. Like, people are allowed to have disparate opinions. I get so tired of the fact that, like, oh, you don't agree with me? Well, you're a Nazi. Bye. Or, like, even the thing with Trump, it's like, yeah, he's denounced the alt-right before. Sorry about that truck. Or motorcycle, whatever it was. He's denounced the alt-right before. He's denounced David Duke. That was a crazy thing back during the campaign when, they were like, oh, David Duke supports Donald Trump. That means he's a member of the KKK. Meanwhile, Robert C. Byrd
was actually a member of the KKK, and everybody fucking forgets that.
And he was Hillary Clinton's self-proclaimed mentor.
Yeah.
So, what if you're gonna start talking shit about people being part of the KKK, which I do not support, of course.
Who does?
I'm not a Democrat, first and foremost.
Robert Byrd does. He's dead. But
he's dead. He's very dead. Thank God.
That bugs me. Here's the thing that bugs me. This straw man that people are putting together. Oh, you support Nazis. You support the KKK. You're talking about fucking Gargamel over here. You're talking about like there are crazies on the fringe, but that's such a small minority. People are acting like, oh, you support Trump. You have an issue with BLM. You're a Nazi. You're a white supremacist. No,
I'm really tired of the Nazi argument, because like you go, oh, you're a Nazi, and now anything and everything they say is completely disregardable, and there's no reason to listen to them. There's no reason to have discourse, and you can just be like Nazi, 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 and then you can justify doing anything you fucking want to, because like you're the personification of everything in the world that we think is evil. Fuck you. Fuck your arguments.
Well, not only that, but I was having a conversation with someone this morning who's not an American, for one, living in Australia or New Zealand or something right now, was talking about it's time for the people to actually start killing people who say they're Nazis. So apparently, like, I don't know all the details about what was going on in Charlottesville. Apparently some of these guys claim to be neo-Nazis. For one, they're not actually Nazis. I want to point that out. Even if they say they're Nazis, even if they aspire to Nazis, one, you don't know if they're doing it for shock value. There's that argument. Two, any prick can draw a swastika and say they're a Nazi. It doesn't actually make them a Nazi. Like, they're not the ones. They don't have the resources that the Nazis had. They don't have the military might the Nazis had. They don't have the influence the Nazis had. They're just some sort of fucking weirdo out there. But it boils down to they're just someone expressing an opinion that you don't like. Even I don't like it. I don't like Nazis. I don't think we need a white ethno-state. But when you start agreeing with someone saying, well, if you say you're a Nazi, then I'm going to treat you like a Nazi, and the Nazis have to be put down because of all the evil that they're capable of. Well, see, now you're talking about using violence towards political ends to silence an idea. That is exactly what we want to avoid.
Yeah, I agree.
And so when you go around saying, oh, well, this person's a Nazi, that person's a Nazi, even if the person calls himself a Nazi, like, they're not. They're just fucking not. And so...
No, I don't.
Like,
I don't know
when-
if I'd go that far as to say that they're not, because I think the Charlotte thing, from what I've seen, I think that there's a percentage of people in there that are, Holocaust denying, fuckface, wannabe Nazis, and then there are people that
wannabe
went out
Nazis.
there.
That's the thing.
The people
That's
that went out there, yeah, but like they want to be it so bad that they got the flag. I mean, the only thing they don't have are the uniforms and the power.
Well, the power is the important thing.
Yeah,
It should
but I think then there's a big percentage of that crowd that's like, oh man, it'd be funny. Yeah, let's go get our Kekistan flags and go over and fucking
yeah.
march with these idiots. Like, oh man, that'd be so, like, we're gonna troll them so hard, and then shit gets blown out of proportion, and now fucking the person's dead.
Well, that's the thing, because someone decided that it was okay to say, well, that person's a Nazi, and I'm going to kill him because that idea is dangerous. Now you got some guy who's just out there trying to be a troll because he thinks it's lulzy, and people are getting killed. You start throwing around terms like that, and then people start taking that seriously, and the I don't even know what you want to call it, just the stupidity kicks in, and now there's violence. And then once you're silencing discourse with violence, that's a hard. You can't put that shit back in the horse. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Can't
So,
put that
that's my
horse back
thoughts on it.
inside the barn.
That barn's burning down, buddy.
I think both sides are kind of going to these incredible extremes, and that I find really disturbing. Now, the left's been doing it for a while. The Antifa people, they have been hitting people with bike locks. They've been trying to kill people for a while. They have killed a person, and we're
Black Lives
okay
Matter
with
killed
that.
4 cops in Dallas.
Yeah.
And,
Why are we okay with that? Why are we okay with that? Nope, that never gets mentioned. That's like, yeah, whatever. I guess. Oh, they killed somebody. Fine. Now, killing somebody is always abhorrent. It's terrible. But how much can someone how much can he absolutely denounce the right without having to bring up the left being equally as violent, if not worse?
well, all these people, they really look up to Trump, and if he would just come out and say that they're bad, then they would know that they're bad now. And what else did I get in my talking points memo from the New York Times this week? Yeah, that's
Those are the pre-recorded points.
To talk about. It's absolutely repugnant though, because it's like there's nothing we can do. Bad people will be bad. Ultimately, that's how the fucking universe works.
Oh, I have an idea for what to do. I think that we need to get the quote alt-right, get all those guys and get schedule a rally in the middle of, say, rural Nebraska. Like, we're gonna go to this big field and we're gonna just fucking worship the shit out of Hitler and the General Lee and everything that's bad in this world, and we're gonna leave there and we're gonna take over America, and get all the Antifa people to get real stirred up in a frenzy and be like, well, we're gonna go counter protest and make a big circle around you, and then they can just go have a battle royale and every one of them kill each other. And then, the moderates and the sensible people in America can be like, all right, now that we've got rid of these fucking wackos,
Man,
we can
sounds like a
actually
cool
have
movie
a
idea.
conversation.
I'd watch that movie though.
Yeah, that would be cool.
A little Braveheart action, yeah. That'd be pretty funny.
It's got a battle royale. I'd watch the shit out of that. That sounds really awesome. But
Yeah,
I'd prefer it not happen IRL.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what people are pushing for, and I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. I don't want it to happen, and I hate sounding like an alarmist, but people can only threaten each other for so long before they either shut the fuck up and go back home, or somebody throws a punch.
Yeah.
And see, now here's the thing: with these guys that were carrying, they were white supremacists, whatever guys, these neo-Nazis as they're being called. I think these guys were probably realistically baiting a violent reaction, is what I think, and I find that repugnant. Even though they're on the right, I think that's just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's very possible, because we've seen the Antifa crowds, and they're low threshold for inciting violence. So, I mean, that's a good theory. They're still shitheads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for free speech, but at some point, on a personal responsibility level, you have to think about what you're what you're trying to accomplish versus what you're willing to pay to accomplish it,
Yeah.
and the repercussions for a lot of people. I don't think, for one, I don't think we need a white ethno state. I really don't. But
It doesn't work in the United States.
So what now? I was talking
Oh,
over you.
it does not work in the United States. The United States has always been a biracial nation, at least at the very minimum, and that's if you consider all white people to be exactly the same. This is not like, I understand why some people think like, okay, it's sweet. Finland's been Finland. We're all Finns, and we all look alike. We all have the same basic genetics. Okay, all right, make your argument there. What are you doing in America?
Yeah, I mean, we all grew up hearing that America was a melting pot. Oh, America's the big melting pot, and everybody comes from all over, and they bring their cultures, and they bring their food, and then, you know, it disseminates through the culture, and now we're all kind of this weird amalgamation of a bunch of different cultures and ideas.
Yeah, but we're Americans first. We are Americans first. That is the point.
Someone sounds like a white nationalist.
Uh-oh.
Well, here's the subtle difference. You bring bits and pieces of your culture that get tossed into the pot, and then they mix in, and it becomes part of the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Your music becomes influences pop music. Your part of your culture shows up on TV somewhere, and it gets blended in. That's great. It's when people try to create a pocket, like a large pocket of just their culture,
like
where
a
you
ghetto.
start running into, where you start running into this wonkiness, and then these little borders start to form up. You got Dearborn, Michigan, trying to do Sharia law. That doesn't work here. You're not taking your little bits of Middle Eastern culture and letting them blend into the U.S. culture as a whole. You're just,
well, we need a Sharia law because it's the most feminist of the laws, Buck. Don't you know that?
Yeah, I certainly heard that from some woman.
Anita Sarkeesian, I bet.
Oh yeah, and what's her name? Linda Sarsour. They told me that Muhammad was a feminist, so now I believe that.
Yeah, I mean they're women, and they would know more than you would know. Also,
yeah, I mean I probably have a dick or something secretly.
That's actually going to be. I 100% believe I will hear that insult coming up. Like, there'll be one of these women that gets labeled MRA, and they'll be like, "I bet you have a secret dick, and you were actually a trans man before, or you were born with like a micro penis."
That'd probably be like, is that worse though? Because trans people are higher on the progressive stack. So like, if I was a trans woman and I still had a penis, wouldn't it be? I don't know. We'd have to ask Blair White. Isn't it worse? Like, if I'm a conservative, as I am, and I have a penis, and I'm a trans woman, I don't understand where I fall in terms of can I be correct or not? Because I know
I think
like,
you'd fall on the not correct side. I think because, you know, the same way that like it's horrible to insult Chelsea Clinton for being a horse face, but at the same time we spent years making fun of mocking Sarah Palin, and yeah, I think Sarah Palin's an idiot too. But like, where were all the feminists while people were calling her a fucking cunt?
Oh my god, or Ann Coulter, for fuck's sake. They've been making fun of Ann Coulter for being Skeletor for 20 years, and no one has given a shit. They make the same jokes about her sharp elbows as they did 15 years ago, and they've never stopped. Or about her being a man. I still see, quote, progressives mock Ann Coulter for looking mannish. And it's like, isn't that transphobic? What if Ann Coulter identifies as Andy Coulter? You fucking asshole piece of shit.
Ann Coulter was justifiably pointy, I think, at one point, at least.
Have you read her books? She has this terrible outward persona that she gives off. That's like very trollish. She's always done it. Her entire career has been like, I'm very aggressive. I'm very trollish. I'm going to say things that will make people upset.
Yeah.
But when you read her books, she's a bit more even-handed. She's a bit more even-toned.
Well, she's not trying to say things to shock you on television. Anytime I've seen her on TV or YouTube, her personality and her mannerisms and the way she speaks reminds me a lot of my ex-wife. So, like, there's a little bit of a put off there, but yeah, like, I get it. Sometimes you have to do that. We've got a couple of guys in the waiting room too, Tab.
Yeah, I see them. We can. Looks like Speedo Josh is is muted right now. He was first in line, so are you ready to say goodbye to Aiden Paladin that we let her talk? Aiden, you want to come on the real show? The full show?
Yeah.
Talk about some shit?
Yeah, anytime you guys want me to have you, I'll just, yeah, hit me up on Twitter. You hit me at a bad time because, like, I had literally just gotten off of a podcast with Micah Curtis. So, like, I've been on, like, back-to-back podcasts all day.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. We'll get like an actual scheduled one on the next one. So thanks for calling in. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Bye.
Thanks, darling.
Oh, that was sexist.
I don't care. I'm from the South. We say those things.
Yeah. We found out you're a male feminist on the last episode. The episode that comes out Friday.
Yeah.
We're now.
It's called being a gentleman.
Yeah, we are now talking to Speedo Josh. Speedo Josh, welcome to Here's What I Don't Get.
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
What's happening, man?
Not much. Just looking up things to do in LA. Listening to your to Paladin calling Aiden Paladin. Her talk about more politics.
That's pretty cool, man.
Stuff. Yeah. Not much.
So, have you got something you don't get tonight?
Yeah, I have one that I was thinking about earlier. Just start with the iconic, here's what I don't get! There we go. I feel satisfied now. Popping bubbles and how it feels. With regards to, say, like, I mean, well, there's the whole concept of an echo chamber, or living in your own world, or whatever, and the feeling of looking outside or somebody just popping your bubble and saying something, doing something, or you just seeing something or learning something that changes your worldview in some sense. And I mean that's a good thing.
That's called the red pill.
Yeah, exactly, like that. But the feeling of having your bubble popped.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. For some reason, it just seems to upset me. Even though, like, I mean, I like getting feedback, learning things, changing my worldview, all that, but on a intellectual level. But whether it's like someone next to me just yelling at me saying I'm a bad driver, or like saying that I almost ran into them when I was paying attention to the road, whatever. But just seeing that the other people are seeing me that way, something like that happened the other week, and
I get that.
For some reason it just upset me. I don't know why. That's what I don't get.
I feel you on that. It's anything that challenges your self-perception, especially, which I think is probably the angle you're really getting at. And that's one of the things that happens more frequently the older you get, is you find out, like, when you come up and you're a kid, like, you expect a certain amount of instruction, and then you reach this weird plateau somewhere in your teenage years where you think you've got it figured out, and then everything after that where you have to adjust course is like pulling fucking teeth, man. Because your ego gets in the way. I'm that way all the time. Someone will come to me and be like, hey, you did this wrong. Oh, I did this wrong? Fuck you. Immediate reaction. I have to come back an hour later and be like, hey, yeah, you were right. I totally fucked that up. But initially, fuck you. Fuck you and your entire lineage. Fuck you. So I feel you on that.
Why are you bringing his lineage into this, man?
See, I used to have this, like you and your seed and everyone that comes after you. I used to have this saying when I was a teenager. I would get mad at someone and I would start to scream at them. I'd be like, I'm going to destroy you and everything you love and everything you stand for. And so it kind of stems from that.
Man,
just
that's
wipe it all
harsh
out.
shit, dude.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I was very edgy as a teenager, very punk rock.
Before there even was a hashtag edgy.
Yeah. I didn't even know about that shit until a couple days ago. So,
what?
Like, what's Twitter? I don't know. People keep talking about this weird bird app on the phone. I don't know. I hardly ever use Twitter anyway. I came up when internet was AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, I hate the fucking social media. I quit Facebook this week.
Yeah.
Like, right after we recorded this week's episode, I was on Facebook and I saw the one last goddamn political post, and I just deactivated it. And I sent, but I didn't do one of those fucking weepy like, oh, I'm gonna give up Facebook for a little while so I can just focus on me. Shut the fuck up and stop clogging up my feed with your fucking bullshit. No one fucking cares. You're just begging for someone to come in there and be like, no, we really like the here's some likes. Maybe you'll stay for some goddamn likes. And so I'm on Facebook and I'm just like, you know what, I can't fucking do it anymore, and just deactivate it. And then I realized that that's the way that some people like exclusively contact me, and so I had to text them and be like, yeah, hey, I deleted my Facebook, so like you're gonna have to figure something. You're gonna have to change your whole fucking setup for your life because I can't handle political posts anymore.
Yeah, that's because we had set up a little group where I would like thumbnails for the show, write-ups for the show, and I would just post them to this little group of just me and Tab. And now I got to try and do it through Discord, prick.
Yeah, well, it's better for my mental health. I've already stopped the. I've already cut myself off from the like. I did it once where I habitually hit the FACE real quick and then hit enter, and then I was like, oh, that's right. And I've only done that once, so I've started to end the cycle.
Yeah, but it's good for your mental health. But it's good for the show. Like Uncle Buck. If I remember correctly, you get like half your topics from scrolling through Facebook and seeing dumb shit.
Yeah, but even I barely used Facebook. That's the thing. Like I go to Facebook like maybe once a day, sometimes, you know, twice a day if I do once in the morning, once in the evening. And I have just always thought that it was just cancer.
Necro C in the YouTube chat says been Facebook free for 6+ years. Whoop-de-fucking-do for you, bud. Good job.
That's possibly more impressive than being like an alcoholic drug free for that long.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
The thing about you mentioned a little bit ago about people, maybe if I like your post a little bit more, you'll stay. That's this digital attaboy, and those things give you a dopamine hit. So that's literally an addiction.
Yeah.
And so that's part of why I'm still on Facebook, is because I'm like, no, I just have to have it.
Yeah,
like, I'm not too big to admit that. Like, if I just wake up and I'm like, if I'm not doing something on Facebook, if I'm not entertaining myself somehow, I just feel like I'm fiending. I have to like just start popping my veins, man. It's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, I actually had that Facebook for only about a year because I had quit it. I rage quit Facebook one time previously, and it was like November, I think, and I saw a post and it was like, this kid's version of the Michael Bublé somebody version of Baby It's Cold Outside is the cutest fucking demon. And it was November, and I saw that post, and I already hate Christmas music, and I was just like, I can't fucking handle it, and deactivated it in class on the spot. And then I was like,
throw your phone against the wall too?
Yeah, no, I didn't throw my phone against the wall because that's actually important to me. And so I quit it, and for I don't know, a year and a half, however long it was, people treated me like a mutant. They'd be like, "Oh, friend me on Facebook," and be like, "Yeah, I don't have a Facebook." And so I got bullied into restarting one as a networking tool for theater. And I just can't fucking do it because it's not a networking tool. It's just a megaphone for every dipshit out there to echo whatever opinion that they read or heard online, and then have all the people that agree with them be like, oh man, oh, that's so great. This is we're all a big family of fucking assholes. No matter what the side was, I was just fucking tired of it. And the image crafting, God, I fucking hate Facebook, and I don't think I'll ever go back. I'm hoping that it's gonna die.
Hey, you're gonna hate me, but I'm actually idly scrolling through Facebook right now.
Yeah.
It's the political post really gets me too. Like back in during the election, I quit for a few months and was so much better for it. But now I just don't deal with real people and do dick show stuff, and that is literally my whole feed and everything I do on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that group will take over your Facebook feed. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's
yeah.
That's 90% of what I'm doing on Facebook.
Yeah,
is that nonsense?
Yeah, I would usually just log in and scroll until I've figured out something else to do with my day. And you can't tell, like the whole system's a shithole because you can't tell. They're almost as bad as Twitter, where Twitter will just hide shit from you. Yeah, Facebook will do that where like if it doesn't fit their algorithm, even though I had my whatever filtered by time, it would still not show things in an order of time.
Yeah.
And it always has a little button, you're in You're in newest first. Do you want to go back to top stories? No, Facebook! Nobody fucking wants top stories! We didn't want it 5 fucking years ago! We don't want it right now, you motherfucker! You fucking Mark Zuckerberg! You little tweety fuck, flat-headed fuck, you with zero personality and zero fucking people skills, and that's why you need to create a little app so you can pretend you have friends on the internet when you don't! You piece of shit! You fucking piece of shit! Fuck you and Jesse Eisenberg!
Yeah. Man,
I wish I were that passionate about something.
well, listen, here's the thing.
I live
that a
my
lot of
life
listeners-
angry.
Yeah, there's something that a lot of listeners don't understand is that he is like this when the cameras are off, too.
Yeah, because
I
we
get to
were
hang out with the guy
talking.
once in a while.
We were talking just before this show, and I went off. Just
Yeah. Well, so
as a
we
regular
recorded-
conversation.
We recorded this week's episode on Sunday, and afterwards, I was going to try and use Discord to call into the Dick Show to do a rage, and talk about and like push this episode that we're doing now. And so I still have Skype up, and I can still see Tab. He's doing his thing, and me and our guest were sitting there listening to the show going on. And something that got said on the Dick Show got Tab so angry that he like now I can't hear him. His audio is muted. But he starts. I see him start screaming and pointing and yelling, and then he jumps up, throws his hat on the ground, and it's like it turns over to his right shoulder, and starts screaming at his kitchen door so hard that his face turns red, and he starts spewing saliva everywhere. And so me and the guests are like, and it was almost funnier not being able to hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the visuals were great, but he's jumped up out of the chair. When we had Biggest Mikey on the show,
Yeah.
he jumped up out of the chair and started beating the table at Biggest Mikey. That's
So when we
just
talked
him.
about Star Trek Discovery, I was on the stage and I got up and just shouted into the empty theater at the top of my lungs.
storms away from the microphone and starts screaming into the rafters. Fuck! Yeah, that's him. That's just him. So, one of these days, he's going to just stroke out, is what's going to happen. He's going to get so mad, his heart's just going to burst.
I
and
think
he's gonna drop.
I think I keep my blood pressure so high though that like if I ever got a clot, it would be gone in seconds. It'd just be like
It would just find, like nature finds a way. It would just find a way out. It would just pop a vein and go right across the room.
Like a
His
bullet.
heart's going to explode.
it'd be like a superpower. I'd be like, ah, and then just fire fucking clots out of my hands like Spider-Man.
A really gross superpower.
Be like, wow, what is this? Oh, this is disgusting.
This is disgusting. Yeah, so his heart's definitely going to explode one day, and he's going to drop dead, and I'm going to be real sad about it for a while, but once I get over it, I'm going to laugh, because that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Awkward silence after that. That's right. Anyway, but yeah, I agree with your point.
Do you want me to talk about other things?
Say that
Say
again.
Did you want me to talk about other things? I don't know.
Let's see. We are at 41 minutes or so in, so we probably better move on. But I agree with your thing about people popping your bubble, man. That rattles my cage too. Every time.
I just wish I could respond to it better, or just not get so flustered or upset. Yeah, again, I need my worldview to be better, or at least wider in some way. And I wish it were easier.
I just read some books. That's what I did. I just read a bunch of
That
books,
helps.
even stuff that I disagreed with. Like I've read everything Michael Moore has ever written.
Cool. I'll check out some of his books then and see if I disagree as well.
They're awful.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it's just shitty. Anyway.
All right. Thanks for calling in, man.
Of course, my pleasure.
All right. So next up we have Meme Big Boy is in the list.
Wait, the Friar was in first.
No, Meme Big Boy was in first.
Was he?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, man.
Okay, if you say so.
I say so. Welcome to the show, Meme Big Boy.
No, I was in first.
Did you say you were in first?
Yeah.
See, I
Okay.
told you.
Okay, so I was wrong. Fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Popping my bubble. So what's on your mind tonight, man?
Alright, so is it okay if I give a quick shout out to my friend John? He introduced me to the show a couple days ago.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely, yeah.
Alright, his name is John Mulaney, and I really like you guys' show, so I just decided to call in. So here's what I don't get. I'm new to LA. I'm new to LA, and I see a lot of
Right.
people walking around. But what I don't get about them is like they all just have some kind of like attitude to them.
Yeah, LA people do that. Do you still have the YouTube stream playing?
Yeah, I'll mute it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree. In my couple of trips to LA, there are some people that I met that I fucking hate. Cannot fucking stand them because of that LA attitude. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've never been to LA, so I'm not qualified to talk about it. So I'm going to let you guys talk while I drink more water.
Because I went to go get some food one time, and I was standing in line, and this one dude was like, "Can I cut in front of you?" Because I had been standing there for about 5 minutes. I had to get back to my work, and I was like, "No, sorry, I'm just trying to get this in. Go." And you would not believe what he called me, just in front of like the 20 people that was in there. He just started freaking out.
What did he call you?
I don't think I can say it on here.
No, I think it's better. It's better left to the imagination.
I mean, if you really want me to kind of say what he said.
If you want to take a close pass at it, if you think it's too offensive, but bear in mind, we say the worst possible things on our show.
Well, he called me a shit-looking nigger faggot.
Yeah, okay. I can see where that would be offensive and definitely racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just took a lot of offense to that since my father was actually African American, so.
Okay, yeah.
So I stood up and I was like, "Well, you listen here, you cocksucking Jew." And he was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me, you little cunt?" And we just started like getting into it, and then the worker came over. He was like, "You guys are gonna have to go if you're gonna keep on doing this." And I took him outside. I was like, "Do you want to tussle, big boy? Because we can rumble." And he was like, "You know what? You're not worth my time," and just left it there.
I love this. This is the best.
That's actually how I got my name.
All right. Well,
that's why they call me Big Boy.
Well,
I guess that works. I mean, I probably shouldn't have, brought race into it after he did. You know, two wrongs don't necessarily make it right.
Oh, you mean how he called me a shit-looking nigger faggot or something like that, and I called him a Jew?
Yeah, I mean, like, the adult in me is like, you might not should have done that, but it's still, you still got to fire back. So, that is what it is. Tab's being awfully quiet over here. Tab?
Well, I mean, that's not my issue with LA people. My issue with LA people is the way that they, like, look down their nose at the whole rest of the country as if California, well, it's mostly California people, whereas if, like, California, we were to build a wall around California, like, they would last more than 5 or 6 days. So, yeah, that's a pretty good issue.
Thanks for calling in, man.
You're welcome.
What else we got?
We have Frank the Friar standing by.
Alrighty. Bring him in.
I'm bringing him in. Welcome to the show, Frank the Friar.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing great.
What's going on, man?
Good. I've been, I just found you guys' podcast recently, and I have to say I've really been enjoying it. It's just some great entertainment for all the driving I do, so thank you all.
Huh.
That's the best time to listen
glad
to
you enjoy the
podcasts.
show, man.
Yeah, thank you. I do have something, though, I want to say about here's what I don't get. Because,
right,
sorry.
If you got an issue to bring in, or you just a comment on the show?
No. I got an issue to bring in. My name, I'm a friar, like a literal friar. I'm a religious clergy. And,
Okay.
And one of the things that's been coming out from this violence down in Virginia is all these different clergy and people that involved in religious context are forcing others to try to say something about it. Like if you don't say something, you're okay with what happened. So forcing our hands to speak on this topic instead of like, well, you know, why don't we just work with the people at our level to help keep violence from happening? But nope, we have to get on our podiums. We got to preach to the gil. We've got to, you know, even though many different religious people have different styles, you know, and it's just, I've been getting hounded on social media, phone calls, you know, people asking for statements. It's just been nuts.
Right. Yeah, I mean, people are always looking for a hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
You know, and then we have to worry, like I have to worry about public scandal. You know, like if I say something and, you know, get going, you know, I get the bishop down my caducus about it. You know, but then they're like, well, you're not saying anything, so you must be okay with it. You must be a racist. I'm like, well, no, I'm not a racist. You know, I just have this whole group of people I representing that I have to think about. You know,
you have to choose your words carefully and your timing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And everything has to be immediate. Like they can't call you. They can't call you up and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this thing?" And then you say like, let me think about it for a half hour, and I'll call you back and give you a statement." And they're like, "Oh, you got to think for half an hour? You mean you don't think that X, Y, or Z?"
Yeah.
Your
well,
gut
there's
reaction's not accurate all the time.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that great movie, A Man for All Seasons, several decades ago? And the person remained silent, and everybody knew what he felt about it. But now everyone's saying you have to say something because silence is being okay, and it's just driving me crazy. So I figured I'd vent a little bit on here because I didn't get much chance to do that during the day. So
that's
thank
fine,
you for
man.
listening to the rambling.
No, you're fine. You can say some more if you want. I mean, that's what this show is about. It's cathartic, man. There's got to be an outlet in your life. If you bottle everything up, you start going nuts.
Yes. There is one thing, like, because Uncle Buck, I don't have a Southern accent, but when I get going, I'm from Michigan natively, and I get sort of a mixed Canadian Uper thing.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what people assume when I use the accent. You know, I get all the nice Canadian, like, oh, you must be Canadian, you know, but like it's just a flabbergast the mind, you know, when you use an accent.
Yeah. I went to Maine. It was I guess it was almost 10 years ago. It was it was I think maybe early 2008 maybe. I went to Maine, and for around here at the time I had a very neutral accent. And I got up there and people picked me out immediately. And then here's the weird thing. Then everyone starts trying to do your accent for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was up there to visit this chick, and I went to church with her. And I would walk in and she'd be like, and this is my friend Buck, and I'd be like, hey, how's it going? And everybody would be like, whoa, where are you from? I'd be like, oh, I'm from North Carolina. Well, howdy, y'all. I'm like, sure, yeah. Do you want to come to the pig picking after church? I mean, first off, what do you call it pig picking? Because I have a feeling you don't, like, it's probably something a little bit different than what I call a pig picking. And it was like a hot dog, like a plate of hot dogs in the fellowship hall. I was like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. Okay. Yeah, glad to. And then everyone wants to sit there and watch how much food the fat North Carolinian can put away. So, yeah, I feel you on the accent thing.
Yeah, which is sad. Hopefully you're able to share your great barbecue down there with that vinegar base. So.
Well, I didn't bring any with me. I wasn't anticipating being a cultural icon 1,000 miles away from home.
Yeah,
so.
Being a unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah, being a guy with a weird, twangy accent in a land of perpetual snow. That's what it was. That was up in Portland. Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although there was a great brewery up there, Shipyard Brewery. I went on a tour there. Man, that was some good beer.
Yeah, Vermont's got a lot of good microbreweries too up there. You know, except for they got outrageous taxes, so everything costs you an arm and a leg in that state. So.
Yeah, that kind of blows. Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in.
You betcha. Thank you for the time. Very appreciative. Keep up the great work. It's appreciated.
Yep, oh, no problem, man. And thank you for enjoying the show.
Yep. Ciao.
Well, we don't have anybody else in the waiting room. But I got like an email or something.
Well, we had some voicemails. Should we go ahead and do those or save them for the next episode?
That's up to you.
So we'll save them because not everyone's going to listen to this. Do you have any comments or emails you want to read on or that kind of thing?
No, not off the top of my head.
All right. Let me go back over here to the comments. Chase Bailey says it's funny how people treat you like an outcast when you tell them that you don't have a Facebook.
Yep. You're like a monster.
You're a leper. You're a pariah. You're a social media pariah. Space Shank says, "What's up, guys? Fuck Facebook." And then Chase Bailey came back and commented on some of the language used in one of the call-ins. You all right over here?
I found it.
What'd you find?
Here it is, right here. Right where I left it, on the sofa.
Okay.
Oh, nothing important, just more propaganda.
More propaganda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit that they call mandatory that isn't, and then they tell old students to, like, oh, hey, reply to this email and tell everybody how important this thing is. Like, no, it's not. Like, it's cool, but it's not, like, you will live without it.
Yeah, I agree. Because, I mean, like, I grew up without social media in the 90s.
Yeah.
We had, like I said, we had AOL Instant Messenger. You might have had a Yahoo account. Everyone had a GeoCities page. And that was pretty much the long and short of it. The extent of social media was an AOL chat room. And those were edgy.
Yeah.
That was where you went to spam people. Dirty words. Back when dirty words were still offensive.
Well, I mean, some dirty words are still offensive. You can't say them on TV or whatever.
Yeah. Or they get edited out of your podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess on that note, man, it's been about an hour. What do you say we go ahead and cap it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone who called in. It's been a big pleasure. I've really enjoyed it.
Me too.
Have you enjoyed it, Tab?
I have.
So this has been Here's What I Don't Get.
I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Uncle Buck.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.